being able to run up against a 300-pound dude who runs a 4.9, going up against a Marshawn Lynch, and you got to fight off a block, and you got all of that coming at you, man, what the hell are you talking about? Obviously, you don't respect me. So I grabbed his helmet, pulled him down, and just held him. The referee threw the flag. Everybody jumped in, and I was like, all right, I ain't letting go. Then the ref, John Perry, he's ejected. And you could hear me on the game, on the TV copy saying, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by a legend today. A bad, bad man. I'm going to read this resume for you, Takeo. A college graduate and first-round pick out of the Auburn University. 15 years. Go Tigers. I beat y'all, by the way. I beat y'all. We'll get to that.
Y'all cheated.
15-year NFL career. 1,400 tackles. 29 sacks. 19 picks. 4 touchdowns. I ain't even getting the end zone once, man. How the hell I ain't getting no touchdowns in 11 years?
Gotta have them high knees, bro.
I got to the 1-yard line. Carson Palmer tripped me up.
High knees, I know it.
Top analyst at SEC Network. He's a photographer. And he has a fire podcast that I just came across called Behind the Mask, which I love. So, Takeo, appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining us. And but you a dog, man. You a legend. I grew up watching you. Like, man, that 51 over there with them high knees, talking this stuff, personality jumping through the TV screen, man. I just want to let you know from my era, looking at you, man, I appreciate what you brought to the table. And hell of a football player. And I enjoyed watching you, brother.
Hey, man, much respect, bro. And the sentiments are likewise, too. I watch all the cats, man, who are worthy. I watch everybody. But, you know, to see you come in, and you came in Seattle 2011. At that time, I left and went to San Diego. That's one rivalry game as a 49ers player that you always going to watch. And you throw everything out the door. I don't care about winning streaks. You don't care about losing streaks. Bottom line, that Seattle 49er game is one of the most physical games that you will ever see, and it's going to be worth the price of admission.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, every time Frank Gore, Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Alex Smith, Marshawn, bro, it's just clashing. Hey, but take me to 2010. Take me to it. I'm in college at this moment. It's your moment. It's your time to get there. 15 or 13, whatever year you was, you can make the playoffs. But you come across the Seattle Seahawks. What happened, man? What went down, man? What happened?
I hate you making me relive this up, but you know I love telling some stories, man. So, KJ, we put ourselves in position. It was a tough. Mike Singletary was the head coach, and we played y'all towards, like, I want to say it was like the 13th game of the year, and I knew, looking at the rest of the schedule, we could win out, and I think we did, but I knew if we were able to beat you guys, that really would have took us to that next level. Like, we would have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, especially after seeing it, how it played out. So, we played, man, offensively, bro. We didn't do squat. And I want to say you guys didn't have a lot of yards. It wasn't a high-scoring game, but it was one of those games to where after we lost and the way that we lost, we walked inside of that locker room, and it was one of those things to where people say, you know, the elephant in the room nobody never wants to discuss. We looked at each other collectively, also with the coaches, and it was like, man, you know, we effed up an opportunity to really get to that next level. And what bothered me about it so bad, it was that Sunday, but I remember walking in that meeting room on Monday, and we watched the film as a group, linebackers and D-line. And I remember just watching it and just, I felt like we took it seriously, but I just think we had, you know, it was a young team too, but I just felt like the guys, I don't know if they really understood the magnitude of the moment, understanding, man, it's hard to get to the playoffs. This was my 13th year. And so just watching, I think you guys broke a run, ran out the clock, watching that on tape, bro, it hurt me so bad because I knew that was my 13th year. Last year on my contract with the 49ers, I knew if we don't make it to the playoffs, there is no chance that I probably would come back as a 49er. And that happened, bro. When I saw that play, it hurt me so bad, bro. I walked out of the room, and I've never done this before. It like Jim Tomsula, defensive
Yep.
line coach, he knew something was wrong. He came outside, bro. I was crying like a baby. 13th year in the league, because I knew once you get past 10 years, like if you get to 10, like every year after
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
it's just icing. And he was just like, Spikes, I know it hurts, man. He was like, just take your time before you come back in the room. I don't even know if he shared that with anybody, but that's how bad it hurt me, bro. So,
Yeah.
like, so when we talk about the rivalry of that game,
Yeah.
like it cuts deep.
Yeah. And Takeo, slow it down for me, because when I look at franchising, when I look at organizations, leadership is everything. Everything starts from the top and go down. So here you are, you're 13, trying to make it happen. What is your presence on this football team, whether it's on the field, off the field? Like, what do people in the building need to be doing to get a young team, a young coaching staff to buy in, to tap in, to be on the details? What were you doing in particular when it came to leadership to get everyone on the same page?
Well, I think about the song Migos, "Walk It Like You Talk It." And that was my mantra, bro. It was like, walk
Yeah.
it like you talk it. And so for me, it was like I had a good time now. But when it came time to work, like I'm working. And I took that very seriously. So I think when you look at building franchises that have been historically, I wouldn't say over a short period of time, the 49ers were bad. And I was one of the players that they brought in to change the trajectory of what they wanted to do moving to the playoffs. And we got better. We had some very good defenses in San Francisco. But it's important to bring in veteran leadership, guys who can walk it like they're going to talk it. But then also, you can't be a locker room lawyer. You got to be able to go out there and produce. And so to have guys like that, I think of a Nate Clements. I think of Frank Gore was on that team. You had a young Patrick Willis. Justin Smith was brought on that team too to change the trajectory. And so that's what's most important. When you really want to change the identity of a team with a young team and then a young coaching staff, you got to bring in a proven product to be able to handle the ebbs and flows, because as well as I know, winning is a habit. And so, but unfortunately, so is losing too as well. And so when you go through those down times, you're going to have some wisdom in the room to say, look, guys, hey, don't need to have a state of emergency. We just got to continue to do the little things right to where we get back on top. Now it turns into a good habit.
Amen. Amen. And we talk about 15 years at a high level. That ain't easy. I played 11 and I felt like I was in year 17. But tell me, Takeo, what it took to have that long of a career at that high of a level. Who put you on game? Like, who helped you, and what did you do in particular to last a decade plus 5 at the linebacker position? You
Bro,
what I say? 1,400 tackles? You
yeah,
colliding
man.
for 15 years. Talk to me.
Bro, it was what happened, man. It was I had one of my good friends. It started out at a young age. My second year in the league. No, third year in the league. We eventually got he should be in the Hall of Fame, and hopefully he will. Fullback Lorenzo Neal. And he came over as a veteran, and he was like, he noticed I kept having growing issues. And he was like, Spikes, you got to do the little things. You can't do what they ask you to do in the training room and expect for you to be like top notch and you're going to be healthy. I was like, well, don't talk me to death. Show me what I need to do. So
Yeah.
before practice and after practice, we would just do certain stretches. and then he will find a massage therapist and say, you go once a week. The type of body you have, you need to go 2 times a week. You under 12% body fat, so you need that. So he taught me how to be a pro and understanding. Like I used to like to go out have a couple of cold ones on a Friday, but
This
for
during
me,
the season? This
during the season,
Okay.
yeah, during the
Can't be doing
season.
that.
So
Can't
he
be
was
doing that.
like, you can't do that. He was
Yeah.
like, it's all right to have a glass of wine, maybe 2, but you can't be looking at down to half the bottle and the whole bottle and expecting to go out to perform. So for me, it was more so, all right, have your fun on a Monday. You got an off day recovery on Tuesday. So I implemented it 2 times a week from a massage, chiropractic care. Me and him would stretch after practice every day religiously. And it was just doing the little things. Even if it was after practice was over, we would go find somebody who specialized in, I remember ART came out, active release therapy. And so, and the Graston tool. Like back then, training rooms wasn't doing that. They wasn't caught up on that. But I would take time after a 10-hour day at the facility and go. And I had favor. I got to give it to God too, man, because I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that. And all of that really just kind of helped me get through the 15 years.
And people call me crazy all the time when I say that the linebacker position is the most important position on the football field. We got to get dudes lined up. We got to cover receivers down the field. We got to take on 300-pound linemen, tackle fast running backs, heavy running backs, and we got to do everything on the football field. If we not right, the defense not right. From your perspective, what do you see when it comes to the linebacker position and how sacred that spot is?
You said it best. It is the most important position on the field because you can't get people out there to line up. Like who you won't get them to line up if you won't have the linebacker position? Then you can say a safety, which I think the safety is a very important position on the field, but you gotta the duties that's demanding of us, being able to run up against a 300-pound dude who runs a 4.9. Then you got some of the guys who are just straight going up against a Marshawn Lynch, and you got to fight off a block, and you got all of that coming at you. Man, what the hell are you talking about? Man, I ain't taking that from nobody. Like, bruh, that position is sacred. And then let's say if you specialize in locking down the tight end and being able to be a cover linebacker, and now you getting mixed match, what they call as mismatches, being on a wide receiver, running down the seam on cover 2, being able to play cover 3 curl flat, and you got to take the guy coming over around on the deep over. Like, come on, man. Like, so it ain't like you have a script. Like, you got to do this on the run consistently. And so for me, like, hands down, the LB position it's the reason why they call this the quarterback position of the defense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Takeo, take me to November 3rd, San Diego Chargers versus the Raiders. 2012, you blitzing up the middle. You come in contact with a running back. I was a part of this club, too. I got ejected. Takeo, what you do? Because I didn't see the angle of what you did. What you do to get ejected from a game?
Listen, man.
It looked like I saw your reaction. Talk to me.
Let me tell you, I wanted to, like, I know we ain't on bleep out on.
Do your thing.
I wanted to put my hands on John Perry, which is the official.
Yeah.
Because you could tell they got the memo before the game. Hey, we want to make sure this rivalry with the Raiders, also with the Chargers, this is a heated thing. So we need to put out fires before they start. I blitz, go up against the running back. I beat him, and then I put the quarterback threw the ball, and I was right there close by the sack. I pulled up, and so I just felt something pushing me, and I'm like, "What the?" And I look, and I'm like, "Man, I'm like, man, this little mom, like,
what you touching me for?
What you doing?" So, bro, I just immediately like, all right, bro, you obviously you don't respect me. So I grabbed his helmet, pulled him down, and just held him. The referee threw the flag. Everybody jumped in. And I was like, all right, I ain't letting go. I ain't letting go until
You
my
still
boys
holding on?
come. Just holding on. They broke it up. Then the ref, John Perry, was like, gave the explanation. It was like, he's ejected. And you could hear me on the
I
game, on the
heard
TV
you.
copy saying, what? Man, I got so mad, bro. I wanted to mess him up so bad, bro. I got my helmet, threw it out on the field. Like, you go pick it up.
Oh, I ain't see that part.
Ejected. And I never would have thought, because that was last game of the season.
Yeah.
I never would have I didn't come into that game with the intentions on that being my last game. Because
this is your last game of your career?
Last game of my career.
Ooh.
And I was like, all right, I don't even know what happened that game, but obviously it was a bad call by John Perry.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, I got thrown out of a game too. Same situation.
Did you throw a punch?
No, it's Sunday Night Football. We go to Lambeau Field. Green Bay kicking our ass. They kicking our ass. Aaron Rodgers, Devontae. It was a stretch play to the left side. Richard Rodgers, you know the tight end Richard Rodgers? This motherfucker, he's so damn annoying. I'm running, trying to get to the ball. He holding me. I took his face mask and I suplexed his ass right to the ground. I shoved this sheet, man, get your ass up. He hit me in my helmet. Ref throw the flag, everybody jump on top. We fighting. And they look at the replay. I'm looking. The referee came. Number 50 is ejected. I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. You talk about a walk of shame in enemy territory. They giving you the middle finger, cussing you out.
Oh yeah.
It is
a walk of shame, bro. I forgot about that.
As soon as I got to the tunnel, I broke down. I laid right down them stairs. I broke down and cried. Cause I'm like, mama calling me. She's like, son, don't you ever embarrass me like that. Don't you ever. I was like, mama, I ain't do nothing. I was like, he hit me.
He hit me first.
but to kill, I did not know that was your last game. And I'm talking 2016. You was way retired by then.
Yeah, I was having a damn beer watching you play at that time, bro.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. All right, man. All right, fast forward. You know better than anybody else. We in 2023. We got some dogs at linebacker. Who the guys you watching now saying, oh, yeah, he that dude?
Man. We talked about the 49ers. I like Dre Greenlaw, another one of our products coming out of the SEC. Fred Warner. I think they're probably the better tandem in the league when you look at two backers that can do everything and they complement each other well. Big fan of my guys down in Tampa. When I look at
still doing it. He's still doing it. Levante.
Yeah, Levante.
He's still doing it.
Man, listen, man. I love they play the game. They can do everything, bro. Him and Devin White. Oh, they complement each other well too. My boy up in Indy, Shaq. I know he's been kind of hurt a little lately with his back over the past few years, but love his game. God, who else I'm missing out on?
I'm a big fan of Roquan.
Yeah, Roquan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I've always liked Roquan, even when he was coming out of college. So they're doing good.
And Takeo, you watch backers for a living. Tell me, when you watch the body of work that Bobby has put together from 2012, right now we're in 2023, 12-year career, all pro, year in and year out, Pro Bowl, over 100 tackles each and every year. What'd you see from Bobby when it came to his body of work?
Just Mr. Consistency. And when you see a guy who was just it was almost like he never had the ebbs and flows of what we call his business. Like, this dude always was consistent. He always gonna get you the picks in a timely manner. He's always gonna find a way to get the sacks. But then it's more than anything, it was just his leadership really spoke volumes to me more than anything. And I appreciated his game. I still do, man. And to be able to see him on the back end of his career to come back to Seattle, like you don't see that often. You know that. And I think whenever franchises decide to bring guys back, because they didn't have to, they really didn't, but they know like this is where you belong and this is where you're going to finish up. So I have a lot of respect not only for his game, Bobby, but then also the front office of Seattle too as well.
Yep, and I just saw you inducted a legend into the San Francisco Hall of Fame, and Patrick Willis. You took him under your wing. Both y'all played together. I always admire. I watch Patrick Willis each and every offseason. Let me see what 52 doing. Let me see what he doing. I'm watching him after in the season too. Let me go see what he did on the football field. What was he like when he first came on the scene? Because you was there his rookie year.
I got there right after his rookie year, so his second year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like you, KJ. I was like, this is the thing. When you play on the East Coast, you don't really see West Coast
Right.
NFL teams.
Right.
So you hear it, oh, this young kid, Patrick Willis. And I knew, one of the Bucks is coming out of college. And I was like, all right, I hear him, but I need to see for myself. And I remember the first day I got to practice, and I met Pat. Pat, you could tell he was still unsure. So that let me know right then. I was like, this cat, he is playing off of just straight like instincts, like what God blessed him. And so the more and more we kind of became acclimated with each other, he would ask me things, and then I would ask him certain things because he was there in the defense before me. And that's what bonded our relationship. But the thing that really stood out to me was, number one, the speed. I've never seen a linebacker who I could run. I've never seen a linebacker run as fast as him.
Patrick, he was like gliding. He was like them long legs, but he covered so much ground.
Much ground.
He just covered all that ground.
Cover all of that ground. And, bro, he was like maybe a little bit over 230, but him being the weight that he was, being able to run a 4.3, you combine that together, he was so explosive. So I would see him drop linemen in practices, and I was like, oh, my goodness. I was like, I like it. Pat, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mess with you, dog.
Yeah.
But man, he was the dude, man, like he never wanted to believe how good people told him he was. Humble. He never wanted to believe it. And at one time I remember asking him, like, bro, like what drives you? Like clearly, you made it to the Pro Bowl your first year, all pro and everything. Like, do you know you're talented? He was like, man, I know, man, but let me tell you the reason why I'm the way that I am, because I always never wanted to become complacent. But he said the second thing was Coach Singletary brought him in the office after his first couple of weeks at practice, and he told Pat, he was like, Pat, it was at a team meeting, and he said Singletary asked people like, hey, like, no, I'm sorry, let me start over. So it was a team meeting, and Coach Nolan asked, like, what's going on? What can we do different? And Pat stood up and said something. And so Coach Singletary pulled Pat to the side after the meeting, and he was like, Pat, he basically told him, I'm paraphrasing, like, you ain't really been here long enough to be standing up giving out suggestions. Until you learn what you're doing and you do it at a high level consistently, then you earn the right to get up and talk. And that challenged Pat. So from that point forward, it's almost like, you know how it is when you want to get your father's approval or you want to get your granddad's approval, and you won't do everything. You won't cut the grass. You won't go cut the damn hedges. You won't pick up the grass and everything. That's what drove Pat. And for that reason, he never wanted to believe what nobody said of him good. It was always, I got to get better. Instead of making 9 out of 10 plays, 10 out of 10 is good. And that was his mindset.
And you ain't even hit on this toughness. I seen a picture. Both y'all got clubs.
Yeah, I know it, bro.
playing with clubs on you. What was going on with your hand? What was going on with his hand?
Bro, great question, bro. We were playing. Oh, what were we playing? I can't remember who we were playing against. It was at the end of the year, close to the end of the year. We both broke our hand in the same game, bro. He broke his hand first, and he was like, "Spikes, I think I broke my hand." And I was like, "I would ask you how you know, but I remember that big ass cast you had on in college." And he was like, "Yeah, I done it before." The next series, I came back to the sideline. I was like, "Hey, Cap, I think I broke my damn fan." And he was like, "How you know?" I say, "I feel it clicking when I try to pull it down and it popping out of place." And he was like, "Yep, you broke it." So we finished the game. We had surgery on Monday, played Thursday night against San Diego
Stop it.
Chargers.
Stop it. No, you
And we were
didn't.
questioning. Nobody didn't know. Both had surgery. We played on Thursday with broken hands. And I had the pin still stuck in my hand, bro.
Takeo, time out. Slow it down. Slow this down, brother. Time out. We talking surgery. We talking going under anesthesia.
Yeah.
A doctor going in your hand, putting in the anesthesia not wearing off until Wednesday.
Hey. Hey, that goes to show you they don't make them like us no more, KJ. They don't, bruh.
Yeah. Same doctor did both y'all surgeries.
Yeah. Same doctor, man.
And y'all played a few days later.
Played on that Thursday. And I didn't know. I was like, man. And this is the thing. You know when you play on them primetime TV games, it's like, damn, should I play? And it's like, if I don't play, I don't want to be looked upon as, Charmin tissue. But if I do play, I don't want to be restricted and prohibited to where I'm getting rolled up on the field. So now everybody's saying, oh, he was a great player, but now he doesn't have it anymore. So I was like, bump it. I'm going full out.
How did you play?
I actually played all right.
It was good?
I played pretty good because I ended up probably having like maybe 10 tackles or so. But it's hard, bro. It's hard playing with one hand, dog.
Yeah.
Hard playing with one hand.
Yeah. All right. Give me your Mount Rushmore. 4 linebackers. And we're talking off the ball linebackers. And when I say Mount Rushmore, this is the pinnacle, the elite of the elite. The ones that did it on the field, the ones that did it off the field, the one that changed the game, the one who could play in any type of generation, any type of decade. They could stand on that top 4. We're talking off the ball. We ain't talking no pass rushers, no, Lawrence Taylor. He the man, but he did a lot
he in the class by himself, and he's an outside guy. So I'm gonna go with number 1. I'm gonna go with the king of contact. They actually called him contact. Willie Lanier, first linebacker inducted into the Hall of Fame, Kansas City Chiefs. First black linebacker inducted into the Hall of Fame. The next person I would say, Dick Butkus. God rest him, may his soul rest in peace. He just passed away. We all know how great he was. Then I'm going to say Junior Seau. One of the guys who instinctively could take over a game and not even get a bunch of minuses on the grade out sheet because he never did what he was supposed to do, but his instincts was second to none. And I would probably say last but not least, Ray Lewis. And his resume speaks for itself. So that would be, my inspiration coming into the game. That will be my Mount Rushmore of some of the greatest linebackers that play. It's plenty, it's plenty guys. I think about Derrick Brooks could have made that list. Hell, I'm not even looking beyond myself. I think highly of myself. Hell, it's my list, so I'm gonna be on it too.
Mm-hmm. Damn right.
You know what I mean? So, but nah, man, a lot of good inspiration has came through the NFL.
Yeah. All right, Tico, before we let you go, man, real quick, the Niners and the Seahawks, we know this matchup coming up soon. Prime time football. the best of the best competing to win this division. How you see the Niners? How you see the Seahawks? What you like, what you don't like? What you thinking?
Hey man, this rivalry game, as I said earlier, it don't matter what the record is before. It don't matter what streak you're carrying. It don't even matter if you're on a losing streak. This game hits different. What I do know, I love the Niners. They had a little setback this past week, but I still think you are who you are. You are what you repeatedly do. And so for me, I think the 49ers will get back on track. Looking at Seattle, though, I knew we were going to be talking and just kind of be watching. I've been watching them the entire season. One of the things that jumps out to me is just the lack of not being able to score enough points, especially when they get down inside of the red zone.
Yeah.
Currently now 20th in red zone efficiency. That pretty much means they're only averaging or they're only scoring 50% of the time touchdowns when they get inside of the red zone. So you got to be able to score touchdowns in this league if you're going to walk out victorious as the winner. I also know they're struggling on third down, 31st in the league at that. So, and only converting 31%. And so when you at 31%, I remember our goal used to be to hold teams at like 32, 33%. So that's at the bottom of the league. So you're not sustaining drives. You're not getting into the end zone when you're there. So, I think it's going to be a great matchup. But, of course, I'm going to pick the 49ers. Of course, you know that, right?
And Takeo, when you look at Geno Smith, his story is unreal. And we understand back up most of his career, came on the scene, Russ left, he the dude made the Pro Bowl. What you see out of Geno Smith and what can he continue to do to make sure he's going to be the Seahawks quarterback for years to come?
I like Geno Smith's story. Very resilient. He never let nobody else's opinion of him become his reality. And to see what he's done in such a short period of time as the Seattle quarterback has been very impressive. And even though you guys are going through a rut right now, Seattle is, he's going to bring them out of it. And they're struggling right now on the offensive line. And I think once they kind of shore up the offensive line, some injuries on that side, and then also struggling to score and advance the ball on third down. Listen, I got a lot of respect for him because I don't think I've ever seen this happen before, where you see a guy who was titled as a franchise guy coming out as a draft and to go multiple years as a backup because people look down on him, and now he's gotten this mojo back. Nah, man. So I got a lot of respect for him, man. Wish him all the best. He earned that contract that he just received maybe over a year ago. So a lot of respect, man.
No doubt. Well, Takeo, I appreciate you, man. It was nice. We always seen each other, but we never just talked it out. So
yeah, we ain't never chopped it up, man. It's good. So that means you got to come on my stuff too.
I'm down. Let's get it.
Already, bro.
Hey, much love to you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. And for sure, whenever you need me, let's do it.